y'all, Jamie from Country Diggers here. Today we're going to do another installment of Princesses Behaving Badly by Linda Rodriguez McRobbie. Today we're going to focus on Anna of Saxony. She is the princess who foamed at the mouth. Hope y'all enjoy. Anne of Saxony, the princess who foamed at the mouth. December 23rd, 1544 to December 18th, 1577. Germany, the Netherlands, and 2 rooms in Dresden. In 1561, William, Prince of Orange, was in the market for a wife. His first wife, a wealthy heiress, had died in 1558. The prominent Dutch nobleman of the Spanish Empire was looking for another way to shore up his political influence. Princess Anna of Saxony was an ideal candidate. Daughter of the late Elector Maurice of Saxony and niece of the reigning Elector, which is a princely title of the Holy Roman Empire, she was well-bred and well-placed. True, she was no beauty. She was highly colored, which means excessively rosy-cheeked, lame, and suffered a slight curvature of the spine. But what was that besides money and political connections? Ahead of the couple's meeting, one of Anna's ladies-in-waiting warned her aunt that if Anna didn't like William, there was no way she would play the dutiful princess and marry him. The Fräulein will never be persuaded to do anything she's not inclined to do. That was an understatement. Princess Anna of Saxony was a handful even then. It wasn't until she married, however, that everyone found out just how difficult she could be. Anna's childhood wasn't easy. At age 9, she lost her father, followed by her mother when she was 11. Raised by her aunt and uncle, the then current Elector of Saxony, Anna was encouraged to think that she was the center of the universe. But she was also an unloved child, forced to grow up in isolation and never forgiven for not being a boy. These circumstances aggravated her tendency to be cruel and self-absorbed. The family saw but one remedy for her unsavory behavior: marry her off early and make her someone else's problem. Anna met William, then 28, and the acknowledged head of the Dutch nobility, at a wedding in his home region of Nassau. For 17-year-old Anna, it was love at first sight. Gone was the worry that she wouldn't be led to the altar, though it was replaced by another concern. Anna, single-minded and narcissistic, fell crazy in love. Within hours of his departure, she had fired off 3 love letters to William. The flames of her hasty ardor were likely fanned by some of her relatives' objections to the match, her desperate need to claw at the attention she had never really had, and the fact that she was absolutely insane. William was busy with other things, so he just signed his name to the amorous replies, penned by his brother and best friend Louis. Despite using an exploratory surrogate, William did want to marry Anna. Her position and wealth made the match exceptionally attractive. The two were wed in August 1561. During a week-long banquet that included a jousting tournament and a public betting, a charming custom in which the bride and groom were conveyed to their chamber by jovial wedding guests, dumped into bed amid much rabid joking, and left to consummate the marriage while folks sniggered along the door, outside the door. Wouldn't that be so embarrassing if that happened today? Whew. The 5,500 guests drank 3,600 buckets of wine and 1,600 barrels of beer. At one point during the celebrations, William confided to Anna's aunt that he wanted his young bride to concern herself with dancing and French novels, not sewing and religious education. The electress was shocked and prophesied that allowing Anna such freedom would prove her undoing. Anna did come to a bad end, but it probably wasn't French novels and dancing that got her there. By 1565, whatever had been sweet in the couple's 4-year marriage had completely soured. Everyone from aristocratic gossips to Antwerp housewives referred to Anna as William's domestic curse. One biographer writing in the 1940s noted that even the bitterest propagandist who stopped at nothing to blacken William could find no word to whiten his wife. With 21st century hindsight, it's pretty clear that Anna was mentally ill, and that the vast amounts of alcohol she consumed, coupled with her social position, exacerbated the condition. She careened from melancholic weeping to reckless hilarity. She often threatened to kill herself, and went without eating or speaking to anyone, shutting herself in her room and rocking back and forth. Or she'd go manic and tear off with her entourage of lewd friends to Spa, a town southwest of Liege. While there, she'd spend buckets of money she didn't have, and then wail that her husband was trying to poison her when he demanded she come home. When she was home, she abused William's children from his previous marriage, so much that he was forced to send them away. I think I'd send her away. Anna was a mean drunk. Once, while staying at her family castle during one of her last pregnancies, she raged against her host for trying to keep her from drinking wine, even at a time when women routinely consumed alcohol during pregnancy. Family members feared Anna's bouts of liquor-infused abandon would harm the fetus. Not that Anna seemed to care. She had lost 2 children just days after their births, and though her third, a son, seemed likely to live, she was unable to express any affection for him. Still, despite her erratic behavior and inability to be a mother, Anna did her duty and gave William a respectable 5 children. Anna was also bizarrely jealous. She loved to make scenes and was known to imply that William was involved in some sort of sordid, possibly sexual relationship with his brother. One count recalled a disastrous evening during which Anna spent the entire meal abusing her husband for what she claimed was his social inferiority. Once she finished that haranguing, she started in on his sexual inadequacies. After such outbursts, Anna could be dramatically sorry, offering tearful apologies to her beleaguered husband, who by then knew better than to believe them. By 1568, Anna's behavior became intolerable. She seemed to genuinely hate William, who to his credit frequently tried to reconcile with her. Once when she was living in grotesque extravagance in Cologne, a messenger arrived with a letter from him asking her to come home. In front of a crowd, she tore the note to pieces, stamped on it, and screamed that she'd sooner see him dead and buried than return. After the birth of their last child, Anna broke with William completely. She took off with Johannes Rubens, a middle-aged lawyer who was married and had children of his own. The couple was eventually found shacking up outside Cologne in 1571. Though she initially tried to deny the affair, the evidence was rapidly growing. She was unmistakably pregnant with her lover's child. Rubens confessed, causing Anna to pitch one of her trademark fits. She demanded that William kill both her and her lover, as was his right. Wow. Rubens, unsurprisingly, was not a fan of this idea. Perhaps more surprisingly, neither was his wife, who pleaded for her wayward husband's life. Well, what about that? I'd say, hey, you get what you deserve. But, William declined to execute either of them. After all, beheading a princess of Saxony, mad though she was politically unpalatable. For the history of art, too, this decision proved fortunate. Johannes Rubens would one day father Peter Paul Rubens, the Flemish barquette painter. Johannes and his forgiving wife raised his daughter by Anna. Wow, likely sparing the child a lifetime of unhappiness. Well, that's a saint for a wife. He had a saint for a wife, didn't he? But it wasn't the child's fault. It was his and the mad Anna. But anyway, Anna, however, was not so lucky. William divorced her in 1571 and never set eyes on her again. The divorce was kept secret, and she was taken into custody by her family. Her manic behavior only intensified. She was never left alone, and by 1572 was treated to twice weekly sermons from local preachers, in the hope that divine intervention might inspire her to step off her wicked path. It's a mark of the times that Anna was never perceived as anything other than willfully bad, guilty of a stubborn, petrified malice. The treatment she received towards the end of her life mirrored that of other mentally ill individuals at that time. Enforced isolation in abominable conditions, punctuated by frequent applications of religion. In 1575, Anna was moved to her family home in Dresden. She was kept locked in 2 rooms with bricked-up windows. The door had only a small iron-gated opening for a delivery of food. Not surprising, her condition worsened. She complained of not being fed enough and drank huge quantities of olive oil for reasons known only to her. She was also tortured by hallucinations. She raved that people were trying to kill her, that she had murdered her own children, that her daughters had been sexually involved with their father. She foamed at the mouth and talked gibberish as if she were crazy. In 1576, she attacked a local man with knives, raging and foolish as if she were possessed. She died in 1577 at the age of 33. Sadly, some of Anna's children may have inherited their mother's wellspring of insanity, or perhaps they have been damaged by such a flawed upbringing. Amelia, William, and Anna's youngest child, went the most spectacularly off the rails. She was arrested as a mad woman, screamed at anyone near her, and attempted suicide several times before her death in 1629. Well, that was, out of all of these people that I've done, out of all these princesses that I've done, this one so far to me is the most saddest, because she could have been helped if they had known what was wrong. But back in those days, I don't know. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed, and take care. See you back soon. Bye.